I love Skyrim, the brainchild of our Lord and Saviour Todd Howard, and one of my favourite things about the game is the variety of weapons and builds that are available. It really adds a level of immersion other games in the genre might not give you. Now with that being said, what if I took all those positives, and I threw them out the window? Ladies and gentlemen, I tried beating Skyrim with only pickaxes. Now, you see there's a couple problems with that idea. Number 1. Pickaxes are incredibly weak. They have a base damage of 5, which is 1 more than an iron dagger, and what this essentially means is I'm going to have to try and beat Alduin using a slightly better base iron dagger, which leads me on to my next point. Pickaxes can't be upgraded. This means that they'll be stuck at their base damage unless I enchant them or equip better stat boosting gear such as armour that boosts my one-handed weapon damage. And my final point is that there's a lack of options. If I, for instance, did a sword only run, there's a total of 362 swords in Skyrim, including the uniques. There's a total of 5 pickaxes in Skyrim. One of them isn't even available, and another 2 have exactly the same stats. Despite all of this, I'm going to try and beat Skyrim with only pickaxes. Just quickly though, I thought I should mention I won't be playing on survival mode as I'm in college, and I imagine I'll spend long enough trying to beat the game. I don't have enough time at the moment to add that to my game, but maybe in the future if I get more support then I can do some survival mode runs. But enough yapping, it's time to make our character. For the race of our character, I'm going to pick the Orc. They come with arguably the best racial ability being Berserker Rage, which will be essential in reducing the damage we take by half, and doubling how much we dish out. Since the pickaxe can't be upgraded, this is going to be detrimental to damaging enemies. I'm also going to give our Orc a big yellow face to represent how badly he's been missing sunlight whilst being in the mines. I'm going to name him Marty Miner and go ahead and get my head on the chopping block.
Sentries, what do you see?
I then watch the big ass lizard Alduin fly down and start terrorising Helgen. I'm going to skip the part leading into Helgen Keep as I'm sure you've all seen it a million times before.
Damn traitor! Out of my way! We're escaping, Hadvar. You're not stopping us this time. Fine. I hope that dragon takes you all to
I pick Hadvar, and this is where the real challenge starts. I can't attack any enemies in the keep due to not having a pickaxe, but as long as I stay out the way, Hadvar can deal with all the Stormcloaks. It was incredibly boring standing and watching Hadvar fight his way through the keep, but eventually we were outside.
Looks like he's gone for good this time. But I don't think we should stick around to see if he comes back.
I then head to the Standing Stones, pick the Warrior Stone for a 20% buff to my combat skill leveling, and head to Ember Shard Mine to get myself a pickaxe.
How fast I really am.
I activate the boulder trap, forgetting it's there for the millionth time, and struggle to steal the pickaxe next to a couple of bandits.
Over here!
Pick it up.
Honestly, my combat was terrible here. I couldn't see anything, and I was fresh off of a 4-month Skyrim drought. I activate Berserker Rage, kill the bandits, and take their armor. We also spent way too long faffing around in menus, but don't worry, I'll sort my act out later and cut the inventory scroll in. To make up for my terrible combat moments earlier, I fucked up some more bandits and then headed to Riverwood. Even after doing all of that, somehow I beat Hadvar here. We then spoke to his uncle, I take all his goodies, tell him about the dragon. I then head to Whiterun where I persuade the guard to let me in.
City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
He must have short-term memory loss because literally 2 steps later, he
Official
stops me again.
business only.
I then head to Dragon's Reach, speak to the Jarl. He tells me to go to his court wizard Farangar, who then sends me to Bleakfall's Barrow to retrieve the dragon tablet.
I don't claim to
Before
be the best,
going, I get myself another
finest
pickaxe
weapons
from the blacksmith to dual wield and then head off to Bleakfall's Barrow. After faffing around trying to climb the mountain for too long, I was eventually there. I fought some bandits outside and then headed in, beat up some more bandits and got a level up. I'm not going to show the rest of my level ups from now on, but they all went into health and my skill points pretty much all went into the one-handed weaponry. I plan to try and stay as low of a level as possible, so when I fight Alvin, his health pool is greatly reduced. Eventually I got to the wounded frostbite spider, and then missed my heavy attack like an idiot. I promise my combat gets better, so try and hang in there for the meantime. The spider went down, and a whole 24 hours later, so no. I feel kinda bad for making him wait another full day on the way just to kill him, but I won't. I took the claw, fought some more Draugr using traps to my advantage, and eventually opened the claw door. I grabbed the Dragon Shout before activating my Berserker Rage and beat the Draugr Overlord to a pulp with no issues. I took the Dragonstone, headed back to Farengar, remembered he was talking to Delphine and shoved my balls in her face a couple times. The Jarl told me off for trying to talk to him, and then a guard started telling me about his drinking
happier with a belly full of mead.
Another guard started yapping about the dragon, which led to the Jarl sending me to go deal with his dragon.
I want you to go with Irileth and
the dragon fight was relatively okay. It took a long time to whittle down its health and a lot of fire resistance potions. I finally defeated the dragon. I tried out my new shout and went and told the Jarl about my
So
food.
what happened at the watchtower?
He told me to go speak to the
Jarl
Greybeard
has
and gave me
appointed me to be
Lydia
in
as a
your house,
follower.
Carl.
I immediately went
Lead
down
the
to the
way.
blacksmith to give Lydia her new weapon and headed to Windhelm to get myself some better gear.
Where do you want to go? Climb and back, and we'll be off. Ever been to Windhelm? Oldest city in Skyrim by some accounts. You come here where you're
I
not
experienced some Nordic
wanted. You eat our
racism,
food, you pollute our city with your stink, and you refuse to help the Stormcloaks.
Of
spoke
course.
to Elder about a
It's all
bounty
in this
and
note.
headed to Traitor's Post. I shouted by accident whilst trying to activate Berserker Rage and missed my first heavy attack. The only thing that could have gone worse in that fight was if I died.
Damn it! Not quite good enough, are you? I'm going to enjoy this.
I then read the notes on the bandit I killed, took the ring of Nasir from the corpse. I then headed to the Khajiit, gave him the ring, and just like that had a full set of Daedric armor.
Can I argue with that?
The roads of Skyrim lead.
Boy! He got that shit on though.
I then
used to
spoke
be
to
an
Annika,
adventurer
who is a
in my
potential
day.
follower who can
Then I
duel with
settled down.
pickaxes, making
Got
her
married.
perfect for this challenge.
That's right.
She told me
I
about a
used to
bandit
explore
camp that
all
needed
over.
clearing, so me and
I'm
Lydia
the
went
one
there.
who...
I cleared the outside of the camp easily, but the same couldn't be said for the inside. I died a
Oh
lot.
well. Oh well.
Finally killing the bandit chief, I headed back to Annika and recruited her as a follower.
Lead the way.
I dripped her out in some armor, I looted off the bandits in the mine, and then went and progressed the story. After speaking to Parthenax, I headed to the peak of the Throat of the World to find a unique pickaxe called the Notch Pickaxe. This has a shock damage enchantment on it, which is a nice little bonus to my damage output, albeit 5 points.
Nice.
I then progressed the story even more, getting the Dragon Elder Scroll and fighting Alduin for the first time. I died a hell of a lot fighting Alduin. Even after defeating him, I got crushed by a meteor. Learning my lesson, I defeated him again and immediately used the Clear Skies shell.
You have become strong. But I am Alduin, firstborn of Akatosh, Malagis Zoklat. I cannot be slain here by you or anyone else. You cannot prevail against me. I will outlast you, mortal.
I then dabbled in the local politics and headed to Dawnstar to do the Dawnstar chest glitch. For those of you who don't know, there's a chest in Dawnstar which houses the Khajiit's inventory that you can take from it whenever you like. To save myself time, running around and searching for gear with a Fortify one-handed bonus, I would simply check what the Khajiit was selling. If it didn't have anything I liked, I would quick save, hit them, load the save, and for whatever reason this resets their inventories, allowing me to reset until I have the gear I want. I can then go take it from the chest, disenchant it, and put on more pieces of gear. I then asked the Jarl to trap a dragon in his palace, to which he agreed.
I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am.
And I led the dragon into the trap. I spoke to Odahviing and he agreed to take me to the Sovngarde portal if I released him. So I did, and I climbed on his back and flew to the portal. You can skip the fight with the dragon priest completely if you're fast enough, so I whirlwind sprinted past him and was finally in Sovngarde.
What brings you, Wayfarer?
I was challenged to prove my worthiness, and let's just say that these pickaxes have hands. I was let into the Great Hall, spoke to the old warriors, and then went outside and shouted at the fog. It was finally time to fight Alduin. As I mentioned earlier, I'm fighting Alduin at a really low level to reduce his health pool, otherwise the pickaxes simply wouldn't do enough damage. At the time of fighting him, I was only level 10.
This was a mighty deed.
And with that, Alduin was defeated with only pickaxes. It took a long time to make this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. If the video does well, I'll try and beat the DLCs with only pickaxes as well. But with that, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with my latest content.